Hey guys, in this video I'm going to explain the fourth logic game from the June 2014 LSAT, which is PrepTest 72. People had a lot of trouble with this game in particular. This was the hardest game in this exam by far, and probably one of the hardest in recent memory, just because it was a rare game type that people were not expecting, of course. This is a pattern game, so it's not ordering, it's not grouping, it's something a bit different. Pattern games come up very, very rarely. In fact, there hasn't been one for over a decade, I believe. We're going all the way back to the games in the 20s as being the last time you've seen any pattern games cropping up. So don't be surprised, don't feel bad if this totally threw you off. We'll take a look at it. These are conquerable. You can do these. They just require a bit of adaptability to see something new like this and get a sense of how to handle it. Because at the end of the day, the logic that it's testing is not really any different from the logic that you're using when you approach other game types. It's just a little bit less familiar at first. So learn it, study it now. That way you'll be prepared in case something like it comes up more in the future. So anyway, let's read through the paragraph here. We've got 4 employees, J, K, L, and M, working a 4-day week, Monday to Thursday. So every Monday they start working on one thing, and then they transfer what they're working on to somebody else. But they're never talking about what these pieces actually are. So rather than try to represent them, we'll just say, for example, whatever J was working on, now somebody else is going to work on it, maybe one of K, L, or M, before we even look at the rules. And whatever K was working on, that's now going to go over to somebody else, maybe, J, M, or L, something like that. So there are going to be transfers from Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday, and from Wednesday to Thursday. Monday, we'll just say we've already got J, K, L, M working on something already. So there are 3 kinds of transfers that cannot happen. We can't have J go to M, we can't have K go to J, and we can't have L go to J. So if J is not going to M, J is going to go to one of K or L. If K is not going to J, then K is going to go to one of L or M. And if L is not going to J, then L is going to go to one of K or M. So since neither K nor L can go to J, who's left to go to J? Well, M. So we know that as well. So we can actually make quite a few inferences here up front. I'm going to lay those out now. So again, this game becomes very limited because no one can transfer to themselves, and we already have some restrictions here, especially regarding J. So since neither K nor L could go to J, M had to be the one to go to J always. The others are a little bit more ambiguous, but this is still plenty for us to work with. So on Monday, for example, Monday is going to be J, Tuesday is going to be K or L. Since Monday was K, then what K is transferring to will be L or M. So you could see that we actually can place all of this right on the main diagram itself from Monday to Tuesday. Now, we could do that, but it's still a bit ambiguous. We can split it even further based on, for example, whether J goes to K specifically or whether J goes to L specifically, and that will let us even figure out a little bit of what might happen on Wednesday as well. I'll show you what I mean. If we have J Monday and K Tuesday versus if we have J Monday and L Tuesday. So the 2 routes we can take regarding this first inference here. Everything I've built for these 2 main diagrams is based on whether we did the route of going JK on Monday, Tuesday, or JL on Monday, Tuesday. So these 2 diagrams comprise all the possibilities for this game. Now, how did I take it further? Well, if J is Monday and K is Tuesday, that means that J was not going to L, and somebody had to go to L, so that somebody was K. So in the top diagram, because J went to K, K had to go to L, since that was the only person who could. And if K went to L and J went to K, that means that L couldn't go to K, so L had to go to M. And then M goes to J as always. On the bottom diagram, where J goes to L, that means J is not going to K, so L had to go to K in that instance since nobody else could go to K. And since L was going to K, that meant that K had to go to M since nobody else could, and finally, once again, M went to J. Then I just took things from Tuesday to Wednesday on both diagrams, just based straightforward on these inferences. There's no reason to split it further. It would just create too many diagrams. Not really necessary to do this up front. Going further, I mean. But doing these two, I think, is pretty useful. Again, you don't have to. You can just stick with the initial inference. I like to take things a little bit further so that I'll be doing less drawing over the course of the game, but that's just my personal preference. So we've done a lot with the setup here. Let's jump into the questions finally, starting with number 19, which is a typical orientation question regarding transfers. Let's just go through them. Since we have these two diagrams here, we can actually do quite a bit, because any transfers that occur together at the beginning of a particular workday are things that could occur between people for any workday at all. So we can even just look at our Monday, Tuesday possibilities to help us answer this. So A says JK, KL, LM, MJ. Those are actually the first four things we have right here on this top diagram. So for going between Monday and Tuesday, A actually works out perfectly fine. So that's our answer, believe it or not. Now, if you want to work by elimination, we can certainly do that too. So let's say, just with our simple rules even, we know that J can never go to M. Scanning through all 5 choices for violations of that, we see that choice E has J going to M, not acceptable, so E's gone. We know that K can never go to J. D violates that, so D is gone. We know that L can never go to J. C violates that, so C is gone. Now we're down to A and B, and we've exhausted all 3 rules. What do? So looking at each one, for other issues, we remember that we've got to have all 4 people going each day. And in choice B, we see that K is getting transferred to, M is getting transferred to, and J is getting transferred. Nobody's transferring to L. We've got K getting transferred to, M2, and J2. All of those are getting something, but K is getting transferred to twice, and L's not even getting transferred to once. So B is impossible for that reason, giving us A. So you could do 19 by elimination as well, of course. That's my point. Next, number 20. What must occur on any workday that's not a Monday? So just basically, what's a transfer that has to occur on the diagram at some point, on every single day, I mean. So we see that with J, K, and L, the person they're going to transfer to specifically is a little bit ambiguous. We don't know what any of them is exactly going to do, but for every single transfer day, we know that MJ is going to have to occur because no one else is ever eligible to transfer to J. So for that reason, choice E, M to J, is our answer to number 20. Next, number 21. If one workpiece is worked on by only 2 of the 4 people over the course of the whole work week from Monday to Thursday, who would those 2 people be? So we want a row, left to right, a row that never has 3 people. That could be restricted to having only 2 people. So JKLM, that's no good. KLM wouldn't be good, but we could have KLK and then have L again on Thursday. That works out fine. So it's K and L, those guys are looking good. Third row has LMJ, that's 3 people. Fourth row has at least 3 people, so that's no good. Looking on the bottom diagram, we see again JL and then a third guy, no good. KMJ is 3 people. LK, we could have L again, so that's good. And then MJ and then a third person's no good. So again, in both of those cases, we're seeing L and K as being the 2 people who could be the only 2 in a row across all 4 days. So for that reason, choice C is our answer to number 21. Next, number 22, if L was doing the same piece on both Tuesday and Thursday. So again, we're looking within a particular row to have L on Tuesday, Thursday. Where is that going to happen? Well, in the top diagram, it'll be in the second row. It'll be K, L, K, and then have L Thursday, which is very similar to what we were just looking at for the previous question. Then in the bottom diagram, to have L Tuesday, Thursday, we would have L in the top row going Tuesday, Thursday, since only the top row there is the one that has L Tuesday in the first place. So if we're going to have L on Thursday there, once again, we're going to have K Wednesday, since M cannot transfer to L. M must transfer to J. So now let's look at our choices. Must J be Monday? No, in the top diagram we have K Monday. Must K be Monday? No, we could have J Monday, so B is gone. Must M be Monday? No, of course we could have K or J there. So C is gone. Looking at D, J Wednesday. No, in fact that did not happen on either. So E by elimination, and of course looking at that, we do have K on Wednesday for both of those. So E is our answer for 22. Next, number 23, what could be true about Tuesday? So we're looking at Tuesday and we're looking to see what pair of transfers could occur on that day. So we'll just run through the choices. J to K and K to M. Well, we've got JK. If we used KM also, then nobody's going to L. That's unacceptable, so A is gone. Looking at B, J to L and L to M. If that happened, nobody would be transferring to K, so that's no good. Looking at C, JM, well, right away, J never happens. J to M never happens. M is always going to J, and J is always going to one of KL. So C is gone. Looking at D, K to L and L to K. Then nobody would be going to M. That's not going to work. So we're left with E by elimination. Looking at E, K to L and L to M, that's fine because J to and L will still be getting something. That works out okay. So 23 is our answer, and that's the game.